Are you going to share from the business page? Or are you going to wait until see what I say first?
They're hearing all of it. This is episode number 178 of the Homeowners Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowners Show. We are so glad that you could join us for another live episode. Very, very live. Here.
Very live.
Very live.
Yeah, we're going to hear all the things from all the people that don't know we weren't on mute anymore.
That's right.
It's all good.
And we'll just put it up that way. It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
here we go.
we gotta just let things roll naturally.
That's
here.
right.
Otherwise, it's going to be weird.
But before we let them roll en natural,
Yeah.
you got to pay the bills. So pay the bills, Kev.
All right. Well, first of all, this episode tonight brought to you by Sustained Growth Solutions, the number one best digital marketing agency in the world.
Woo.
Wow, that was
Confirmed by CNN.
That's exactly right. Look, we understand small businesses, large businesses, all of you. You got more things to worry about than trying to figure out how to take care of all your digital media, specifically where are you going to get your business from, lead generation, those types of things. We work with one contractor in an area. That's it. And so all the leads from Sustained Growth Solutions, they go straight to one contractor. I promise you, you're not going to find a better deal out there. Give them a call. Shoot them an email, info@sustainedgrowthsolutions.com. Go to their website. It's going to be awesome. Check them out. They're paying our bills right now.
Fantastic.
So, how about you?
Episode is also brought to you by TermaSave. TermaSave is the only residential termite warranty company in the business, and they are operating right here in Texas. Every year, termites cause over $2 billion worth of damage on residential properties. So protect your property with a warranty from TermaSave. Because you have to. Because they're the only one.
You're not going to find it anywhere else.
So we're not going to call it a monopoly.
No.
Because it's not. Legally.
Legally. That's
but
right.
they will warranty your property against termites, which means that your treatment is completely covered if you ever have termites on your property. Send them a message, info@termasave.com, to get your home protected today.
Perfect.
Kev, we have some serious adventures coming up this week.
Oh, my gosh.
You have some adventures.
Yes.
I've, much to the glee of our guest, I've put on the calendar some adventure.
Okay. Some adventure. And adventure. Yeah.
Which I am predicting is going to be a future episode.
Okay. Oh, it will be.
Yeah.
Well, and mine will be too. I feel strong.
So you're going through some home adventures.
Yeah.
I'm going through some. What's your home adventure?
Well, so first of all, our friendly neighborhood roofer, or your friendly neighborhood roofer, I should say. I'm calling him ours because
He's yours right now.
Right now,
Yes.
Connor Mack's gonna be up on my roof tomorrow, putting a new one on, which is super exciting. Because insurance is paying for it. So
there you go.
That's
fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
But it's also going to be the newest roof on the MLS because coming on Thursday, we're putting our house up for sale.
That's right. So send your offers in now.
Well, good luck because we're not going private. I promise you that. There's way too many people out there for us to go private party right now. So, yeah. Going up on Thursday, and we're just gonna maybe leave for the weekend because it might get crazy.
There's gonna be fights in the front yard.
Oh my goodness! Although, so our friend who was on, was it last week or the week before? Freddie,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. He put up a post. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it said, buying a house in 2022 is going to feel like a bargain compared to 2023. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, let's find out. Let's find out. So
I'm gonna roll those dice.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Listed they have a house in our neighborhood, and she listed her house last week, and she's already got a couple of her asking price.
Yeah.
In Cape Conroe.
Yeah. No, I don't want to jinx anything, but I mean, we've only told just a couple of people. This is the weirdest thing ever. We've told like 2 people that aren't like family or friends, right? For specific reasons that we were selling our house, and both of them have made us an offer.
Wow.
I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I was like, well, this could get weird.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
We'll throw it in the bucket.
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot going on this week for me. Plus, I mean, I gotta pay my own bills. I don't have a sustained growth solutions. Just kind of paying my bills. Exactly. So I got to figure all that out, and I got a job and kids and all those sorts of things. But you, on the other hand, you've got an adventure that you've been planning for well over a year.
Which one are you talking about?
I don't know. Let's find out what yours is. What's your
I've only
adventure?
found about this one last week.
Tell us.
The pool table.
Oh, gosh. I'm involved.
That's right. That's what I said. We have an adventure on the calendar.
That's right.
Kevin and I are going to move a full-size pool table.
But, hey, look. Without any dollies, just these bubbies right there.
That's right.
Bam.
Just those, not me.
Well, no, we're going to use all the equipment we could use.
Are we talking like a billiard factory pool table, or are we talking academy job?
Oh, no.
This is this
Slate.
full slate.
Yeah.
Lift with your legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lift with your legs, not with your back, Kevin. Remember that.
Hey, look, I will tell you, I'm accident prone, Craig.
That's right.
I am accident prone. I've torn my ACL.
Yeah. We're
Fell
not
out
going to
of
be
an attic.
jumping out of the back of pickup trucks.
Okay,
or
well, that's
anything.
good.
So, and for those of you that haven't caught on yet, we have a couple guests in the studio.
That's right.
We got Laken and Chris from Southern Luxe.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
So, yeah. So
Cool.
that's who's been chiming in there.
Yeah.
So they're here on their special Valentine's date.
Man, this is, we really appreciate you. I don't know where the roses are.
I offered
but-
them beverages.
You did?
Yes.
And
We got water.
They declined.
We got water.
They
Laken
declined.
decline.
They declined.
We don't Valentine's.
Sorry, bud.
We're not Valentine's people.
Not Valentine's at all?
You're not Valentine's people.
Oh, yes, you are, Chris.
Apparently this year, now all of a sudden we're Valentine's people. We've never really
That
celebrated.
expectation is always there.
It's good to know, though.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Now
You
you're
got a
aware.
whole year to plan for the next one.
10 years in, we're Valentine's
Is
people.
this 10 years for you guys?
Why don't you
Yeah,
tell?
this is our 10th year.
Why don't you tell Craig and Kevin how many times that we've celebrated our anniversary?
Oof.
Oh, this year was the first one.
Yeah.
Oh.
We just, I don't know. We just don't do like the mushy holiday. I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
you decided to celebrate it once. What did you do? Where'd you go?
We didn't go anywhere.
They don't even
bought her some
remember.
gifts.
We just acknowed it.
acknowledged
We
it.
acknowledged
Hey,
that
did
it
you
was-
know?
Happy
Yes, I did.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were there cards exchanged?
I gave her a
He gave me a.
it's
a
I think
bracelet.
10 years diamond, so I got her a bracelet with a little diamond in it.
Okay.
Old diamond.
Nice.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Look, they're setting expectations low. You got a little diamond for 10. You get a little bit bigger diamond
Hey.
for 20.
But in my defense, it's like what 3-4 days before Christmas.
Oh.
So
Well, your anniversary is?
yes.
Okay.
So
So you like to combine them?
and then she got a ring for Christmas, a new ring. Because
Okay.
the
You wearing
diamond,
it?
the diamond
So,
fell out of her old
every
one.
year,
So
Nice,
We're
okay.
gonna
I got
get,
her a new
you
ring.
know, more and more.
You're gonna get
diamonds
upgraded.
every year. It's gonna be great.
we
Really
just
looking out for it.
we don't go
I don't
to-
know what you're gonna get, but
yeah. We just don't go to dinners and stuff.
What kind of bling would you get though, bro?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't. I need,
Earring.
I just get him
He's
like
gonna
random
get an earring.
sunrise hobbies.
give me a gold grill, man.
Go grill.
You could have been in the halftime show last night.
Just like one. Just like one.
That was
on
our
the
bid
side
too.
right there.
Hey, let's not discount the halftime show last night.
I'm totally discounting.
Oh,
the halftime
you
show.
would.
Really?
You would. Oh, I was all in.
I discount the whole thing.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the game.
See?
So.
Man, look, I'm that guy that not only was all in during the halftime show, I've watched it 2 or 3 times since
After
because it was that good in my opinion. Except that weird dude in the middle, Kendrick
Kendrick Lamar.
Lamar, who knows him? He's some young dude who's I don't know.
They were all playing the same song, dude.
Okay, let's keep moving because this is
one of
not
the
going to
best
be
in his
productive.
generation. One of the
That's-
best rappers of his generation.
yeah, that doesn't. Who cares?
He's also signed to the same label as everybody else.
I know
if
that.
counts.
It does something, I guess.
I guess that's why he was there.
But yeah, it was man. There was a lot of funny memes that came out of the whole thing.
I didn't watch it, and I
So,
shared the memes today. That
it
was about as far as.
Oh, you shared the memes, even though you didn't see
I was
it.
like, that's good.
Yeah.
That looks good. Do
That's
I get
fantastic.
any street cred for? I used to record the guys at Cash Money. Yeah.
You just
Really?
discounted the whole thing, so no.
I just discounted the whole thing.
You did earlier. You said I discount the whole thing. So-
I wasn't asking for. I was asking for street cred.
Oh, street cred. Okay, maybe. A
little bit.
little bit, yeah,
Little bit.
just a little bit, yeah,
Poquito.
a little bit.
I could name drop some more.
No, it's fine. I know. We know. Or I know who they are. They probably don't know. It's fine. But we're not here to talk about that. We could talk about it for a long time, y'all. I'm not gonna lie.
You're discounting me.
Well, you discounted yourself.
Is that where the word dis comes from?
No.
Disrespect,
Chris.
man.
Oh, is
Chris,
that what
you're
it
the-
is?
Disrespecting them.
Chris, you're the closest. Could you just give him a little backhand?
Are you giving him street cred because he's got a hoodie on?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And it's Chris, and he does have street cred.
Okay.
I do have shit.
Okay.
I want to look at a CV later.
Well, yeah. Let's just end this episode.
We'll just end it here.
All right, fellas. Thank you for being here.
The Final Four.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. So, what do y'all do? Like, why are y'all even here? For real.
So,
Street cred.
Yeah, the street cred. If you came to the Homeowners show for some street cred, I promise you're going to be very disappointed. This is going to be a different type of episode for you. So,
all right.
but
So-
you do cool things.
We are we own a general contracting company. We build barndominiums, we custom houses, remodels. I've been on the show before with my previous company, but we've grown in leaps and bounds since then.
Nice. So what? Okay, so at this point, so you've got a new business. What is your absolute favorite thing to work on? I mean, as a contractor, if I could tell you, you could have this job, this type of job for the rest of your career, what would it be?
New construction.
New construction.
Anything new construction at this point. It's
Okay.
so much easier.
Yeah.
It's a lot less headache.
Yeah.
A lot less uh-ohs and whoopsies and mess ups and
What makes
less
it,
variables.
What makes it have less headaches? I mean, is it because the customer can look at it and go, I want this, this, and that, and you can actually deliver that because you're building it from the ground up? Or because like on an existing construction, they might have some expectations that you might not be able to do.
It makes it easier, just the calendar. Calendar. It really does. It's if you plan it right, you can basically plan the entire job out week to week with pretty much no hitches, other than weather, things like that you can't really control. But you just don't have as many variables. I mean, there's not very many things that can go wrong. There's a lot more things that can go wrong in a remodel than on a new construction.
I mean, because there's things there that you just don't know until you
Right.
open the wall
Yeah.
up.
Exactly.
For example.
Oh, okay.
Okay, for example, this is a very small example, but just something that just recently happened. We are working on someone's house and they have a fully painted brick fireplace. They wanted to strip the fireplace. Well, guess what? That fireplace is not stripping. So, what are we doing, Chris?
Oh, now we're painting it. We're gonna
Painting it again?
no.
But it's like on this one particular house. I mean, this home was built in the late 1960s, 70s, and we're pretty much gutting it and starting from scratch.
The house
And
has
with
been
the-
sitting empty since Harvey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it flooded. It's in River Plantation.
I think I know the house.
Yeah.
I think I know that. It's been for sale for a while?
No, it hasn't.
Oh,
been for
the
sale.
same people still own it?
Yeah.
Okay,
It
then I
transferred throughout the family. So
Okay.
The son got it from the
I gotcha.
dad. So, but yeah, it's been sitting empty for, like I said,
4 years?
4 or 5? Yeah, it's been sitting empty.
How do you typically try and get paint off of brick?
Just stripper.
Stripper?
Just-
You wouldn't like sandblast it or something?
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
It's definitely an option if you want it off that bad. Do you want it? I mean, I can do anything you want to do if you want to spend the money. You know what I mean? Anything's possible with the right budget.
And there's your golden ticket.
At the end of the day, but how much money do you really want to spend on a 40-year-old fireplace?
Right.
Or should we just paint it black and call it a day?
So
Or take it all down and start from scratch. I mean,
Yeah, we've done that as well. We took a whole the entire fireplace out.
just taking all the brick out and...
Floor to ceiling.
But this one, he just decided to paint it a different color?
Yeah, like I say, I was hoping.
Faux brick?
No, I was hoping going into it.
Wallpaper.
First of all, I had been working on this lead for like 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Solid 2 years going back and forth working on this lead. But when I originally looked at it, I figured it was like anything else. Somebody homeowner did it and they didn't do it right. So I was thinking that's probably just latex paint on top of the brick, put a little stripper on it and get it right off. Well, whoever painted it did it right. They used block sealer. So they put their block sealer down first and then they put their paint on top. So when I went to strip it, it's not hardly stripping any. It strips off the paint. It is not stripping off the block sealer whatsoever.
Right, yeah.
I mean, like you say, you could take a wire wheel to it or sandblast it or whatever, but
It's going to take forever.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the expense just isn't worth it. Why not do something cool with it? Like, how many times have you seen a matte black fireplace in a house?
Ooh,
it's gonna
cool.
look. It's gonna look sweet.
So then you can put chalk all over it.
No, not the chalk paint. Not the chalk paint.
They don't
Not
have
the
any
chalk paint.
kids. So.
No chalk paint. We're going matte black with a cedar, raw cedar mantle. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's
That'll
gonna-
look cool.
Yeah, well.
And then we have black countertops in the kitchen with a smoky glass backsplash, and then a black walnut island. So
Wow.
it's all going to tie together really
So is
well.
it? So are the cabinets white or
So-
what color?
The wall cabinets are white. The island is actually going to be an espresso, the espresso is almost black. It's just real dark. And then we've got like a breakfast nook that's going to be in like a modern gray, a coffee station that's going to be the same white as the kitchen wall cabinets. So, we have a lot going on in the house.
Cool.
It's going to be really cool. We're excited about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've been working on it for a while. So, design was like 4 months ago.
Yeah, I did the design for them last year.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's been longer than that since I did the design. It was like 2 or 3 months before they even came in. I already knew the lead was closed at that point, so I just went ahead and did the design months ago. It's probably been a solid year since we did the design and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw something today I wanted to ask you guys about because I'd never seen it before. I was in a master bath and it had kind of like an off-white and brown swirled granite countertops.
Mm-hmm.
But as I walked in, I was like, it looks like the countertops are glowing. And I'm like, really? And so like I started turning off all the lights switches, and sure enough, I could turn the lights, like the countertops themselves were glowing. Like they had a light switch on them. And so like I turned all the lights on in the bathroom and you could literally see the countertops glowing.
Is it like that product
Was it
that we
epoxy?
were looking at where they did lighting underneath
Yeah.
the countertops?
Yeah,
Is,
we looked
is
at
that epoxy though? In order to make that happen?
I haven't dived
Because-
that deep yet.
Because I've actually seen a really, really cool video of a guy who made a marble type look on it was a countertop that has no granite, no marble, nothing in it. But he just poured layer after layer of epoxy on it, and he did it in such a way that you could light it from the underside if you wanted to. In fact, he did. But it was all just done with epoxy. But the way he did it, the way he swirled things, it looks like some of it's like a marble. It's really, really cool. But who knows how much something like that would wind up costing?
Right.
I mean, completely custom.
Yeah, the
You
amount
know,
of time.
the amount
that
of
it takes.
time that the epoxy itself is not
So
super
yes,
cheap.
it was glowing.
Yeah, it was.
Probably
It was.
was,
I mean, like
yeah.
it was literally like a light that, but like it was weird. I mean, it looked cool.
Right.
And I would also, I would be just, this is a client of mine, and like, I'd be very surprised if it was epoxy. Like, they would
Right,
probably
right.
think like, how dare you
What
try
we
and put
were
epoxy in
looking
my
at,
house?
what we were looking at was actual countertop that was
Was it?
lit from
Okay.
underneath. Yeah, so I'm sure that's
It's probably just
astronomical
a certain
to do,
color, certain granite.
Certain
you
granite?
know, from a certain yard probably has enough transparency to it to be able to
The
backlight
light's
it.
bright enough, it can
Yeah,
come through.
yeah.
It would seem like that would make like the countertop like hot almost. If the light's bright enough. I guess
LEDs.
LEDs that are bright enough, I guess, could do it. But it was cool. But I was like, I've never seen that before.
I have to ask my countertop guy
Yeah, let's.
if he knows anything
Well, that's
about
like the
it.
countertops that we were looking at where the cooktops are built into the countertops. They've got like the heating elements inside of
Oh
the
yeah,
countertops.
I have
so
seen those.
That's really cool.
Those
too.
are cool
Yes.
because
There's all kinds
you
of
can do
stuff
like
out there.
induction, you can do gas, you can do. I've seen those.
Well, no. This is an induction top. Like you don't see anything. It looks like like just a slab of granite, and you just set your pot right on it, right on top of the granite, and it's got an induction element underneath it.
So how do you know where to put the pot?
That's what I'm saying. That should be super
Well,
dangerous.
I mean,
like
I'm sure once you get used to it, you kind of know
Okay.
where it's at. Like it's not like the whole countertop is one big
And I'm sure there's
deal.
safety on it to where you can just go over there and like burn your hand off.
I'll have to send you the link. It's pretty neat.
I wanna see that.
It's really neat, and it's really not that expensive either in the grand scheme of things.
Really?
If you're doing something custom, I want to say one of the units they're like $2,500, $3,000. Now, what it would take for on the fabrication side,
That's a different story.
I haven't gotten that far yet. But as far as the unit itself, they have a 4-burner and a 2-burner.
Okay.
And they look really cool.
The ones I've seen are like little metal risers that you install on granite.
Yeah.
That you can do as induction or gas. I guess you could do electric. I don't know what you'd want to at that point, but like it's
Right.
intended to like make the countertop cleaner, easier to clean, and it just kind of gives it like a cool look. That like one solid countertop, and
Right.
there's your cooking area. So those are the ones, but I haven't seen that. I want to check that out.
Yeah. I think
Hidden burner.
Yeah, that would be my biggest concern is like
I'm about to Google
just
it.
trying to figure out like
Like,
where do I put the pot? And what if my kids are trying to figure this out, you know?
well,
And-
that's the thing is it doesn't get hot.
Yeah, induction doesn't get hot.
Induction doesn't get
Oh,
hot.
the pot does.
Well,
but
the pot obviously gets hot. I mean, if the kid grabs the pot, then
Sure.
you probably shouldn't watch your kid.
sure.
be a better parent.
But as soon as you take the pot off, it's cool to the touch.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat stuff.
Don't they use that at the melting pot restaurants? Isn't that what they use? They use like
Yeah.
induction on the tables.
Yeah, I
for
think
the
you're right.
fondue. I think I'm.
It's been a
No one's fighting me on it,
It's
so I'm gonna
been
say
a-
I'm right.
it's been a minute since
I'm
I've
not
been to
sure.
melting pot. So
Are those even around
I've
anymore?
never
Yeah,
been to
I
this
think so.
melting pot that you speak of. So
yeah, it's like a fondue paradise.
Did they still? There was one at Vintage Park for a while. Is it still there?
I do not know. I've not been to one in Houston.
For those
so
of you not in the Woodlands area, you don't care.
nobody knows where
Yeah.
that is. So
All those fans that we have in Taiwan now,
yeah, actually, it's a decent number.
dude. Like, so they're listening. We're like in the top 100 in Taiwan.
Yeah.
really,
Well, I mean, I'm not real surprised
A big house market.
because I mean, look.
I guess I don't know.
I mean, look.
Look at us.
I mean, look at us. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
How could we not be?
I don't
popular?
know. I mean, seriously.
do you think that's actual people in Taiwan, or is that somebody using a?
You think like we
onion-
have like two
an
fans
onion
living there or
browser?
something?
I don't know. I think you have a
Somebody
way
using
bigger.
some IP.
You have this
blocker.
way bigger inflation of the crowd that listens to
There's
us going,
8 million
I'm
people
gonna,
in Taiwan.
I'm going to
listening
use
right
this
now.
VPN to listen to the Homeowner Show in Taiwan so my wife doesn't know. And my, like, that's,
It's a huge conspiracy.
right.
That's what we need. Is we need a VPN sponsor
Oh.
so that we can just completely own the market in Taiwan.
there
It's
you
like,
go.
look, just redirect everything over here. All of our fans,
We've
Okay.
only,
right over there.
we've only
Chris,
digressed a little bit here.
Chris, yeah, stick to Barndominiums, man. Like,
My bad, man. My bad.
All right, I'll bring it around.
I can do it.
Okay. So I know that you guys do a lot of barndominiums, right? So what do you, in y'all's estimation, what is it that your clients underestimate the most when it comes to these projects? Is there like a single thing or like?
I honestly think it's the expectation of them wanting that big vault.
Oh,
Of coming in and not realizing that, you know, the cost that's associated with having a full vaulted ceiling with the exposed, you know, HVAC and all of that, versus, you know, if you're going to live in it, you know, you're actually going to live in that house, you know, what's actually, you know, really going to work.
yeah. And we were talking a little bit about that before the show because Kevin wants that. So what's the difference? Because Chris was saying like there's a big difference between like a 10-foot ceiling and then an actual vault.
Right.
What is that?
The cost of the HVAC system, depending on how you're going to engineer it and run your ducts and things like that, you may have to go with multiple systems. Obviously, at that point, you know, when you go to multiple systems, it's
Yeah.
going to cost you more money.
Right.
The duct work. If you're going to do the nice spirally hard duct, that stuff
That
is
stuff's
not
expensive,
cheap.
yeah.
It's not cheap.
Right.
You know.
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
It's not cheap, and especially the bigger it gets, obviously the more expensive it is, and the nicer that you want it to be. And then we got to paint it, and then we got to do this, and we got to do that. But I think the most underestimated thing is the utilities.
Utilities.
People don't think about the utilities.
Talking about like gas, water, electricity.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were talking about before the show, them being available and them being on the site is two totally different things.
Right.
If I have to come in and you're asking me, to give you I can't even give you a bid until I know what it's going to cost to get the power from the road to where the house is going to go, the water from either the well that we have to drill or from the street to where it's got to go. So that's one of the biggest things that I think people don't really think about going in, especially people who have never built a home before.
Yeah.
They don't think about those things, and those things are not cheap. You're looking $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 sometimes.
Especially if it's on land that's never had
Exactly
that on there before.
Exactly. If you're out in the middle of nowhere and you don't have a neighbor close by that has power to their place,
Good luck.
it gets even more costly.
And most barndominiums are not being built up in residential areas.
Exactly.
So
Right, yeah.
we are dealing with those clients.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I would think also that you mentioned heating and air and those sorts of things. I would think that a lot of people don't realize that in those types of buildings, spray foam is going to be your best option.
Exactly.
And spray foam is 5 times more expensive than any other type of insulation.
Right.
Whether it's bat or blown in.
It's also
going to be a lot
more efficient as
It
well.
is, and it's going to last longer.
Right.
I mean, it's going to last virtually forever, really.
Right.
So depending on how long you're going to be in there, it's probably worth it.
Right.
But no, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We don't do anything else other than that. That's
really?
that's just factored into when we're building.
Yeah, I think some people don't think about the engineering that goes into the HVAC system. Like we've got one that we're about to build now, and it's a flat roof, so there's nowhere to put any duct. So we're going ductless. We're doing 9 mini splits.
Oh, wow.
Jay, who's doing them for us.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, we're doing 9 Mitsubishi mini splits in one property, and they're all going to be on a hub to where you can control them individually and all that. It's going to be pretty cool. And it's not an inexpensive HVAC system.
Yeah,
No,
but
but
honestly,
they're
it
crazy
should
efficient.
be. As
I
you
mean,
say,
like,
it should be
Yeah.
more efficient
Right.
for the whole house because you're not going to be able to have. You're not going to have to heat the whole thing or cool the
Right.
whole thing at all times.
That's one of the common misconceptions I get when I hand over the keys and I tell people, this is Barndominium. Don't turn your air conditioner off. You need to leave it running because the envelope, it's not like a regular house. In a regular house, you've got ridge vents, you've got soffit vents, so your house is constantly breathing. Think of an igloo or a Yeti cooler, right? Your regular house is your run-of-the-mill, what's the igloo?
Igloo,
Your run-of-the-mill igloo cooler. It's got insulation. It works. Gets you fine. It's efficient. Keeps your beer cold. But a barndominium, it's holding everything in.
Yep.
It's sealed up tight. There's no air going in, air going out. You have to design your HVAC system to bring that air in, fresh air in from the outside, and circulate that through. And one of the big things that I get when I hand the keys over and I tell them you got to keep this thing on, like their eyes get big, like, oh, this is going to cost me a fortune to run this thing. And I'm like, no, you're the one we just built in Bay City. I believe it's like 26 SEER.
26 what?
SEER.
Okay.
Which is highly, about double what you have in a standard home.
Right.
So the cost of running that thing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I mean, you're talking about like $50 a month to run that thing.
Right.
Whereas if you had to do that in your conventional home while you were away, running it all day and night while you're gone, you're looking at a pretty steep electric
Yeah.
bill.
But the other thing is that's going to be better for your home in general. Like all of the your entire home is temperature controlled at that point. It's like
Right.
anything. If you get it above a certain, heat, your paint's going to do weird things. Your flooring's going to do weird things. Your countertops are going to do weird things.
Yep.
It's like all that, the material changes with heat and with air, differently. So I would imagine that's probably, yes, it's different, but again, it's more efficient.
Right.
Everything involved, I would think.
Everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything is more efficient in a barndominium than a conventional style home. Now don't get me wrong, there's some builders that build high-end houses that are built great. 90% of your neighborhoods out here, I wouldn't buy a house in them. I wouldn't.
Not to name any names.
Except the one that I live in, specifically on Thursday, when
I'm speaking more for like the track home neighborhoods. The big conglomerates, they come in and they're building 5,000 homes. Those they're built with cardboard sheathing.
Standard builder's grade, which is
yeah, and it's
actual.
I don't want to build anything like that.
Yeah. So are you telling me that building a barndominium, for example, is unless you go and buy, some really, really high end, builder doing something traditional, conventional home, that it is a long-term, more efficient type of home to live in.
Yes.
The other thing is, Craig, you remember whenever we had Mueller on early on, we found out, and this is just something I didn't know because I was stupid then. I'm kind of stupid now, but
Less stupid.
Yeah, maybe. Is that whenever you buy a metal building, you get a wind rating on it,
Right.
and you're not going to get that on any other type of home,
No.
brick or traditional siding or whatever it is. But on a metal building, you're going to get a wind rating, which in this area where we have hurricanes and in areas that have tornadoes and things such as that. That's a big deal.
It's important.
You know that your structure is going to be sound whenever you have crazy things happening.
Right.
And that's pretty important. So there's some distinct advantages whenever it comes to that. Right?
Absolutely.
But it also, I think that a lot of people think that building a barndominium is a more cost effective.
I was just gonna say cheaper.
Okay, it's cheaper.
They think it's cheaper.
Yeah, and
that's the expectation
It's
to come in.
not.
No,
It is not.
But okay,
It's
is
comparable.
It more? Okay,
It's comparable.
Yeah,
But it's not cheaper. It's
Right.
not anymore. Now, back when, I don't know, when did this barndominium phenomenon start?
7-8 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then it was a little bit more cheaper.
Economical.
Cost effective, however you want to say it. But now with, recent increases in
Steel's expensive.
Steel and everything else. And if you're building it properly, it's not going to be cheaper anyway.
Right.
If you can, there's some corners that you can cut if you're building a barndominium in your framing and your walls to make it more cost effective. However, we don't do it.
Sure.
It's
Well-
also still a custom home. So
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
custom is going to be more expensive. We're
Right.
not just slapping together barndominiums and throwing them out there. It's 100% to client spec,
Yeah. Well, I would also think that, a huge expense of any home, no matter what, is a slab.
Oh, yeah.
The slab
Oh, yeah.
is really, really expensive.
Very.
And so whenever
very.
you go in, especially if you do, a lot of people will go a couple inches extra just to make sure that you don't have any, issues down the road, right?
Depending on who your engineer is.
Yeah, depending on who your engineer is. Hopefully you get really good specs on all
Right.
of that. Maybe you spend a little bit more, but it's worth it
Right.
probably down the road. And it doesn't matter if you're building a barndominium or a regular home or, I was talking to someone and said, well, what if you built like two different kinds or whatever versus what if you built like a barn, for example, that had a barndominium home on it? And the person I was talking to was saying, well, it wouldn't really be that much less expensive to do it that way than to build them separate from each other because the slab is the same size. Then that's a huge part of the build itself is the amount of concrete that goes into that thing. Yeah, you're going to share one wall,
Right.
but at the end of the day, the slab is stupid expensive.
Yeah.
I
I think normally people think, when they think slab and they think concrete, they think, oh, yeah, patio, 4-inch
Yeah.
thick, it should be $5 a square foot. No.
Yeah.
No, especially with bigger buildings. The bigger building you go, and then what we put inside of them, that's going to determine how much the concrete is going to cost. We send off what we're doing to an engineer, and then the engineer is going to tell me I need, 8-10-inch grade beams every 12 foot, and then I need one for this load wall going this way and that way, and before you know it, for a 50 by 100 building, you've spent $40,000 in concrete.
Right. Yeah.
Do they typically use the same kind of slab for every building, or are they using different kinds?
What do you mean?
So like a floating slab or like a footed, you know what I mean? There's different kinds.
It just, geographics.
Okay.
Geographics
That changes
is
it.
going to determine, and whoever you send your drawings to, whatever engineer, there's soil reports. What
Right.
does the soil report say has to happen? There's a lot of factors.
Around here, they typically use the same kind of slab
Yeah.
every time. What are they? What kind of slab is it?
Just your standard rebar slab.
Okay.
We don't do anything crazy, unless the engineer calls for it.
Right.
I do what the engineer tells me to do. So basically, where our expertise comes into is the design and that kind of thing.
Right.
I leave
everything else to the.
I leave that up to the engineer
For sure.
to tell me, hey, this is what we need. You could go without using an engineer, but
Why?
Exactly.
I mean, honestly,
pay the money.
Yeah, it's like one of those deals where people are like, I don't want to pay for an architect. And it's like, do you realize an architect for most homes is going to cost about $1,500?
Yeah.
And you're telling me that you don't want to spend $1,500 when you're about to spend $450,000 on a home
To make sure
Exactly.
that
To make sure-
everything's the way that
That's
it
exactly
needs to
right.
be.
Like that's a drop in the bucket,
Right.
To make sure that
Cut
I'm
a corner on the tile that you buy. Don't cut a corner on your architect
That's
or your
right.
engineer.
yeah, and I don't know, maybe, and I don't know how much engineers cost, but they're again, it's not going to be
You're not
No,
far
it's,
off. I mean,
it's not terrible.
we
It's a
have
couple
clients-
bucks a square foot.
okay.
About $2 a
That-
square foot.
I mean, seriously, that's not bad at all. I mean,
Yeah, no.
Because at the end of the day, you know what you're getting is if you're using the right engineer,
Yeah.
you're getting something that's really high quality.
And as the builder, that's the only safety net that I have. If I go and I build and I don't have an engineer stamp on it and something happens, I'm on the hook for it.
Right.
You know, my business is on. I mean, we're an LLC, but
Right, but still.
our business is on the hook for it.
Yeah.
We will go out of business, and to not have that engineer there as backing is just dumb.
Right. That makes sense.
Well, and that might be. I mean, that might be something good for people to hear because I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Here in Texas, I mean, we don't have to have a license in order to be a contractor,
No.
right? Yeah. I mean, so like.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and well, like I know that's one of our buddy Eric G. I mean, he's always like just floored that like that's not the case here. And he's like, it's like roofers and contractors don't have to be anything here. You mean like, but like that's how you know that you're working with somebody good is that somebody that goes and gets like an engineer stamp and says like, look, here's the plans I've got to approve by this guy, and that, they've done their homework.
Exactly.
But like, whereas like some Tommy shows up and he's got drawings with crayons, it's like it's probably not a good sign,
Right.
Even though the price is better.
Exactly.
So
You get what you pay for
yeah.
at the end of the day.
Every time.
I mean,
Every time.
you're gonna get what you pay for.
Yeah, and that's honestly okay. Let me ask that question. I would assume that a lot of people think that metal siding is metal siding, right?
Right.
Is that true?
No.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second because I know it's not true.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a reason that Mueller is more expensive than whoever else. I mean, what is the difference, and what do you use, and what do you recommend, all that kind of stuff?
That's really just. I wouldn't say that Mueller's any better than anybody else.
The warranty is
Different suppliers are going to carry a different gauge.
Okay.
So like your mom and pop on the corner with the carports and things like that, they're usually carrying like a 29 gauge, which is thinner.
Right.
With Mueller, their standard, I would think, is like a 26 gauge,
Okay.
thicker material. So it's apples to oranges, sort of, but at the same time, you can get the same quality. Obviously, I don't know much about Mueller, to be perfectly honest. I listened to the episode.
I think the warranty was 35 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right.
35 years, and it's not prorated, from my understanding. So I may be wrong on that. Go listen to the episode.
But you also have, you have your regular R panel, then you've got standing seam, and when you go to standing seam roof, obviously the price goes way up. You have all your hidden fasteners, and there's different seals and all that jazz. So it can get the cost difference can be great.
Sure.
Just going from your regular R panel roof to a standing seam can be 40% more.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about a 5,000 square foot building, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And also, whenever it comes to roofs specifically, you go to a metal roof versus a traditional shingle roof. Those are going to last a lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so again, it's one of those deals where you really get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And if you want to spend the money on something like that, it's going to last longer. It's going to look different, obviously, but
if you plan and this is in my opinion, if you plan your maintenance the way that you're supposed to with a metal building, unless you just like the aesthetics of the standing seam, It's not necessary. It's
Okay.
just like
What is the standing seam? I don't know what that is.
standing seam is. I'd have to show you a picture of it, but there's no fasteners that show.
Okay.
Like whenever you look at an R panel, you see all the fasteners
Right.
across the roof.
Yeah.
They're all hidden underneath a seam.
Okay.
And it's like a raised ribs, I guess is the easiest way to describe it.
Okay.
But it's just hidden fasteners.
This is only for roofs, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean,
And it's just an aesthetic. It doesn't change the.
well, I say it's just an aesthetic.
I mean,
Now,
I would assume
Let
maybe
me
water.
let me elaborate a little bit more. With an R panel roof, you're going to have to replace your screws. So those screws, they have little rubber seals on them, and just like your shingle roof, every 10 years or so, you need to have somebody come out and just replace all of those screws.
Sure.
Every single one of them, just replace them. People think that it's a big deal, but to me, it's like, it's just maintenance.
Sure.
You know what I mean? If you know going into it, hey, 10 years from now, 7 years from now, whatever it is, I need to go ahead and have that in my budget and weigh the difference of do I want to pay the extra 40% for the standing seam now? Or would I rather keep that money in my pocket and use it for something else? And then, a couple years down the road, I'll spend $2,500 to have Jim Bob come out and replace all my screws for me.
No, I mean, I think it is an aesthetic, but at the end of the day, if you don't do that, you're gonna have water issues.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hole.
Yeah.
Right? Anywhere you get a hole, water comes in. It rains a lot around here, so
Yes.
So let me ask you this: if I'm hearing you right on the hidden seam one, either way, you're gonna have to replace those screws in 10 years.
No.
No.
So
So the
not
hidden
with a
seam-
standing seam.
Not with a standing seam.
Because they're not exposed to the elements. They're all under.
So how long should those last?
That'd be a question for Connor.
Okay.
Connor knows more about the standing seams and
Okay.
that kind of thing than I do.
But they should last longer.
Yes. Like I say, it's really just the hidden fastener is really the only
Difference.
the selling difference. The major difference that makes it better is the fasteners not being exposed to the elements. and
Clearly,
they're
this
hidden.
one's going to last longer because it's not getting
Yeah.
the beating that this
Right.
one's getting,
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Yeah. And so the question you have to ask is what I'm paying worth that much longer of an amount of time
Right.
than what I'm going to get with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you have the budget to spend it, absolutely go with standing seam every single time.
Okay.
I would say go with it every single time. If you can afford the extra expense, standing seam all day long. It looks better and it's going to last longer.
Yeah.
But if you're on the fence on do I keep some money in my pocket, I would say keep a little bit of money in your pocket and just plan on replacing those screws down the road.
Yes.
You'll be
Makes
fine.
sense.
yeah. So let me ask you this question. So let's say that you had, you came into a pot of money, right? You build whatever you want to. You had the opportunity for your own home, your family, to build a conventional, traditional home, or to build a barndominium. Which would you go with?
Barndo all day.
Okay.
All
Is
day
it
long.
okay? So let me ask you this:
Is it the same for you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
it is.
Okay.
okay,
There's so much.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not to start a fight, but that could be interesting.
No, we actually really agree on. We both kind of have a modern taste.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's more of our element. I like.
I
clean
like the flat
lines,
roof look.
Okay.
and that's just what we gravitate towards. So
Modern,
I like
contemporary.
drama. I like a lot of drama.
Okay.
yeah. So because I think that there could very easily be said that more men probably gravitate toward a barndominium style,
Probably
just
so.
because it's that rough. It's
got a utility to it.
Yeah, it does. And more women are probably gonna gravitate toward, I don't know, something different.
The
Right.
Tuscan
And so-
Riviera.
Exactly. And so, the Victorian home, whatever. And so I think that that's probably true on a lot of cases. So there is an aesthetic there to it, but I think from what I'm hearing you say, like you as well, is that it's more efficient. It's going to last longer. Your maintenance overall is going to be lower. Minimal. I mean, you're not replacing insulation. You're not replacing your roof as often. You're not replacing, the siding that rotted, or you're not going to, all these things are things you're not going to have to worry about. Your HVAC is going to work less,
Right.
Even though it's working all the time, as you said. It's not going to work as hard
Right.
to keep things cool. All those sorts of things. But I guess my next question is, let's say you want a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. What can you do to a barndominium to dress it up a little bit, to not make it look just like an industrial building, a shop, you know?
Stonework is one of the easiest, most cost-effective ways. And there's also the option to, instead of putting instead of I lost my train of thought. Completely lost my train of thought.
We're on stonework, cost-effective. Help him out,
Well,
Laken.
I was there with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
ahead.
it doesn't just have to be a rectangular building.
Oh, okay.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can design that home all with money. With money, you can design that house however you want it, with whatever features that you would like to add. I feel like personally, it's something because I do all the interior design stuff and, help with the exterior. I tell everyone, like, it's a matter of personal choice. I personally feel like the possibilities are endless. The way you dress it up, interior and exterior, is there's just so much that you can do. I mean, of course you can do that with a standard traditional home as well, but we like a modern feel, and there's just so much that a barndominium offers with that, with that feel.
Yeah.
And,
Stone and elevation changes are the most common.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking a 12 by 12 building essentially and just shoving it on this corner, or taking one and turning it opposite ways and just kind of linking everything together.
Sure.
And like I said, you could do, a 20-foot sides in your living room section, and then your bedroom sides where all your rooms and stuff are going to be. You might do a 16-foot side there. That way you have the elevation changes in the roof that make it look more like a house and not so much like a shop industrial.
Yeah. Well, and I would assume that remodeling is a lot easier on a barndominium because everything's hanging, right?
Right.
Everything's hanging,
Yep.
and I know that probably sounds weird to some people, but you're not building from the ground up; you're building from the ceiling down.
Correct.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, let's say you want to come in someday and just demolish all the inside and start over. You don't
theoretically you could, yeah.
You could without. I mean, you could knock everything down on the inside because the structures are in the steel beams on the outside.
Exactly.
Instead of you don't have to walk in and go, hey, I want to open this up. Is that a load-bearing wall?
Right.
No.
Nothing is load-bearing.
Nothing is load-bearing.
Nothing is load-bearing whatsoever.
So it makes it easier, I would assume.
Unless you do vaulted ceilings, and then obviously your whatever side's holding your vault is holding your weight. But, it's wide open. I mean, it's wide open. There's no limitations on, the engineer says we can only go this wide because we have this much shingle on this side and the weight is too much, so we have to upgrade this beam and that kind of thing. It's wide open. It's a big open box, and you can take your boxes and place them wherever you want. And typically within a pretty standard square foot price. I mean, you can do a lot within I'd say a $15-ish range of change.
That's not bad.
It's not a big jump with us anyway. I've never worked for another home builder. I've never gotten bids from another home builder. Our systems are completely our systems that we have created on our own. So I don't know how other people work, but with us, we've got, if you come into our office, I've got racks of tile, I've got racks of luxury vinyl plank, I've got cabinet samples, I've got countertop samples, and we have
He's
people
looking at me when he says cabinet.
He's eyeing. He's a little side eye.
Should I mention this?
Yeah.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, we have people all the time that we'll send them over a square foot price. We'll say, okay, well, you're looking at $140 a square foot. They're like, well, I need you to break that down. Well, what do you want me to break down? Like, it's $140 a square foot to do the job. $0 not to do it.
Right.
What
do you want?
What do you want me to break down? And I usually tell them, I can show you better than I can tell you. Come into my office and I'm going to show you. I've got 15 flooring samples for you to choose from. I've got 40 tile samples for you to choose from. All of this stuff is within your budget. I'm giving you your budget, and everything that I've got in my showroom, you can have any of it. Whereas with other builders, you might get 2 or 3 options. And
Yeah.
Now, when people start straying outside of what you guys have in like your showroom to kind of guide people through the building process, that's probably when the prices start changing a little bit.
I don't warranty it.
What do you mean you don't warranty it?
I won't warranty anything that I don't provide.
Okay.
That's the way that I deter people from going outside of what we have.
So if they're like, listen, I
Yeah.
want this little bitty bead tile on the wall in the shower or something.
Right.
Like,
I will find them something comparable.
gotcha. Okay.
Within our stuff, but we typically tell people that if I don't supply it, I don't want to warranty it, just because I don't know where it came from.
Right.
Like, I've never worked with whatever, Ceramic Tile of America or whatever. Like, I've never worked with this company. I don't know what their warranties are.
This also isn't our first year in business. So, I mean, people don't understand the hoops that we've jumped through before that we no longer can jump through before. I can't send Chris to 3 different Home Depots to try to go find your tile for you. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have enough in stock here and there. And we've done all of that.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
At the end of the day, it's not worth it.
And I had a couple of interesting discussions with the people. Everybody loves floor and decor. They've got those products that say they have warranties, but if you actually go in and talk to the people at Floor and Decor, they will flat out tell you, well, we don't even know if they're going to make any more of that.
Yeah.
So this warranted product that you have is probably going to be non-existent. So guess what? If something happens to your floor or tile or whatever, you're probably going to have to go in and pick something else altogether. You know,
Can't just replace that section.
Why not save yourself some hassle? Get it from my supplier, and then if something happens, then I'm the one that's going to be your liaison.
You're on the hook. Yeah.
Well, I'm not necessarily on the
No,
hook.
but I mean, you're gonna be an advocate though.
Right. If we have a manufacturer's defect that happens, I mean, that's not something that we obviously should even have to cover.
No.
But I'm going to go to bat for you.
Yeah,
I'm going to put you in contact with the right people and whatnot. Now, if you want me to use the stuff from Home Depot, then I mean, you go deal with Home Depot.
Sure.
When
it goes
I'm not
south,
going to bat with you for you. You know what I mean? If you go through my suppliers that I've developed a relationship with over the years,
it's different.
Then you have somebody to go to bat for.
So what about you? Since we're talking about warranties, I know that if I go out to David Weekley or whoever, right, and I go buy a new build home from them, I'm going to get a 1-year warranty, whatever that they choose to warranty, right?
Yeah.
Does that change for you on anything that you do? Is it 1-year warranty, and is that change with a Barndominium versus a traditional home? What does that look like for you?
We do a year as well,
Okay.
and then plus manufacturers' warranties. Sure. All of our suppliers offer their warranties, like our cabinet supplier. They give them 5 years. So basically, if it breaks within a year, call me. I'll come out, fix it for free.
Sure.
No big deal. If it breaks after that year, I'll put you in the right channel with the manufacturer. The manufacturer will contact me. I'll get the parts from them, and then we'll charge you a trip fee to come out and fix it or whatever.
But if you do it right the first time.
Yeah. If you do it right the first time, you don't have to worry about it.
That's huge.
We have, we get calls, but it's never for anything major. It's never, we've never had anybody call and say, hey, I got 3 foot of water in my house.
Right.
Get here now.
Right.
It's usually minor stuff. Hey, the knob fell off the shower. It was loose. The hinge on the cabinet's loose. Right. Things like that. Warranties are subjective.
Yes, they are.
They're subjective.
Yeah. Well, they have to be. I mean, you're talking about 2,400 square foot maybe of a home.
Right.
That has countless pieces in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At some point, something may fail.
Right.
And it just does. Yeah. Over time, everything does.
One of my biggest negatives to the business, but positive to the customers, is my ability to say, redo it. Rip it out, redo it. That doesn't look good. I don't care what it costs. Rip it out, redo it.
I might have seen Chris walk into a remodel unhappy with a shower and just go ahead and knock off a piece of it himself, and then we're going to have somebody come back out and fix it that day.
Gosh.
I've literally taken a hammer to an entire shower. Yeah.
Wow.
Walked in to inspect it, and it's not going to work. Looks like crap. Redo it.
Wow.
So, hey, did you guys see that crazy contractor video this last week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, which one?
The one where the guy like literally wore himself out beating the outside of the house. He had like
so-
a mental breakdown on the lawn.
I seen the snippet. I didn't click on it. I didn't
Oh,
see
I
the
guess
whole
I'm thinking
thing.
about the one that went in
She's
and
talking
took it all
about
back.
the tile guy
That's different.
Yeah, so-
from months ago.
No, so like we mentioned, Eric G actually had the lady that happened to on his show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Like that was a whole messed up situation. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people were cheering for the contractor until
No,
they found out what
no,
a jerk he was.
The work.
work
Did you
was-
see
yeah,
the
it was
pictures of the
awful.
work?
Oh,
Well, and like
That's about what that shower looked like when
It
I
was
walked in,
atrocious.
and I
well,
told
later
him to
on,
rip it out.
he was sending us other photos like that you couldn't even see in the video. That like stuff that he had done. Like
Yeah.
oh, it was the worst.
It was terrible looking.
And it's like he had people in there filming him doing it. Like, why would you want?
I
evidence
assume
of
that was his wife.
Who knows?
I think this is, I'm just thinking here out loud, but that's one of the benefits to having, I mean, yes, we're a home builder, but even like a general contractor in general, like if you're a good one, you're always looking out for your client. I have this lengthy contract that is to cover you. It's not just covering me.
Yeah.
It's making sure that you're getting what you're paid for. We've got you on a schedule. You're getting the product that you're paying for, and it's been well looked out for. And taking care of like a baby before we hand it off to you. You know.
Did he ask her if she had contracts with that guy?
I don't remember.
I don't even.
That's the biggest thing, homeowner show listeners. Contracts. Do not do anything with anybody without a contract.
It's not a clear contract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A clear, detailed contract of exactly what your expectations should be.
Yeah.
We get calls not as much anymore now that we're doing a lot of the larger scale stuff. But we used, I hear it, I see it all the time. You don't get a contract, they screw up the work, then you're out tens of thousands of dollars, and there's nothing you can do about it because you didn't have a contract with the guy.
I mean, like, how many COVID stories did we hear about people just getting absolutely screwed by people doing work in people's houses and things like that?
Well, and
a
Harvey
lot of
as
times
well.
Harvey
After
as well,
Harvey,
yeah.
I mean, people were coming in from other states.
Right.
They were doing all kinds of
Gypsy
stuff.
contractors.
And then,
Yep, the old gypsy contractors. Just like the guy that knocks on the door and happens to have some extra mulch.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck.
I have some free termites for you.
That's what I was gonna say. It's got some termites in it. I was trying to get rid of this.
No, what was funny about the one that came, like that video dropped like the day after we did the episode last week.
Yeah.
And the whole spiel was the lady had hired the guy off of Home Advisor.
Oh, yes.
And it was
I remember reading the caption now.
it was like this company claims to background check and criminal check and all this kind of stuff, and it's like this guy just flips out in someone's yard.
Yeah.
I can elaborate on that if
he had
y'all
a
want to go into that.
Criminal
Well,
back.
well, we,
you guys have used Home Advisor.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
have
railed
too.
on them last week.
I listened. I was listening. I wish y'all had a phone in so I could have phoned in and talked about my experience.
Well, you feel free to share if you want to. I mean,
I honestly had a positive experience in the beginning.
Okay.
In the beginning, I will say that it's not worth it for somebody who has developed somewhat of a business. It works for people that are new in the business and are hungry and just need a job.
Yeah.
They haven't dialed in their marketing. They haven't dialed in their pitches and everything else. It's great for somebody like that that's just starting out and doesn't know where to get leads, doesn't have any inclination on how to work Facebook ads and Google ads, and call Kevin and get him to do some work for him.
Yeah.
One of the first jobs that really like set Turner Home Improvement before we were Southern Luxe on the map came from it wasn't Home Advisor. It was
Angie Leads.
no.
It was
Thumbtack. Porch. House. Okay.
Porch. It was Porch.
There's like
which is
35 of them.
I know a few of them.
from my
I was
understanding.
writing lots of checks. I didn't know where they were going.
From my understanding, Porch is owned by Lowe's, or used to be, or were in
I know-
cahoots
I know
with
what you're
Lowe's
talking- yeah,
at
okay.
some point. But I started out, when I didn't have any leads coming in through Facebook, and we've always kind of had Facebook dialed in, and had that lead funnel figured out with Facebook.
Right.
If you have any sort of inclination on how to work a computer, Facebook's pretty easy to get your name out on. But I'd spend $100 a month or so, and this is when, I don't know how it is now. It was like a prepaid phone, you put so much money on it, and then they sent you so many leads, and at that point, at some point in the game, they started not giving you as much control over the leads that you could choose and stuff.
Yep.
At some point, they pulled the old switcheroo on
About
you.
2 months.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, what just happened?
But I mean, long story short, I had a lead that I think I paid like $27 for this lead, and it was for a kitchen or a bathroom, a shower that needed remodeled. And I went in, gave them the bid. They hired me right there on the spot. Well, as soon as I left, she tells her husband, "That's our guy." This is the story that they told me later on. We're fixing to build a Bartominium for these people too.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, that $27 lead turned into like 55 grand worth of work for these people. Wow. So I mean it really paid off. You know, especially in being a new business, not having any sort of marketing budgets, anything like that. Like I'm just winging it. You know, I just pulling up my bootstraps and trying to figure it out. You know, that $27 lead turned into $55,000 worth of work. I would say probably 90% of the leads that I got were junk.
Sure. Yeah.
Were 100% junk.
Yeah.
I got my ROI. I definitely got my ROI out of it. But like I said, once I got to a certain point, it's like, I wouldn't use this. Now that they've changed it the ways that they changed it now. And like I said, this was years ago. This was 6 years ago.
That $27 lead is no longer $27 either.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like how they picked and chose the price of the lead. Like I don't know what they're
arbitrary.
Exactly. I don't know if it's based on zip code or where you're going or what it is, but some leads it would be like, a kitchen in Conroe would be $17, but a kitchen in Katy was $65.
Yeah.
So I think it
had a lot to it probably has a lot to
geographics,
do with
neighborhood,
even,
zip codes,
and also like what they say they need.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I need like some new cabinet doors."
Yeah.
Versus like full gut job, right? They're going to charge more for one, but then probably the one that says a full gut job just needs the cabinet doors,
right?
And the cabinet door guy actually needs a gut job, so it's kind of like
that is so accurate.
And 3 out of 5 are Gertrude going, I don't know how you got my phone number.
That's right. Yeah. I didn't click on that.
Click on that.
What are you talking about? So, I had 14 contractors call me. Exactly. And guess what? 14 people paid for her.
Exactly.
14 people did,
She was online looking for canary food.
But hey, that's how we got rolling. Chris started going out to the jobs and doing the bids, and I started returning the calls and doing the things. So
if you
your
have
system's got to start somewhere.
It worked when we were slow.
You do what you got to do when you get started. I mean, you really do.
Exactly.
I totally get that. But those people are shady.
It doesn't make it any better that neither one of us are from Montgomery County either. Like I don't know nobody around here. I mean, even I've been here 15 years, and I can count on my hands and toes how many people I actually associate with.
Nice.
We,
how many toes do you have?
I'm the social one.
I think we just figured out where he's from. We learned a lot in that little comment.
Whatever it is, it's more than all my cousins.
We just learned a lot from Craig, too. We're going to start talking about overalls here in a minute, I think.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Well, there's only one person here from the Banjo State.
Okay.
Alabama.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I hope you don't have any listeners in Alabama.
Not as many as we had in Taiwan.
Not as many as we did 5 minutes ago. Well, I think that to be honest, it's such a movement. The Barndominium thing is a movement right now.
Absolutely.
And I think that's also, one of those deals. It's kind of a fad. It's probably going to go away. But at the end of the day, I think what's interesting is the people that do get a Barndominium, they love them.
Yeah.
And they know that what they paid for was worth it.
Right.
And they're happy.
Yeah. I don't know of anybody that's out there building cookie cutter Barndominiums,
Yeah.
Everyone's custom.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people out there that offer floor plans.
Sure.
They have a set of floor plans. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, but
Is that because it's just easier to say like here's a model, we can build this one for this much and move on with our
Yes.
I think we all enjoy the element of the design, putting it together ourselves. We're not limiting people as they come in.
Right.
When we started this business, we actually have partners, Jared and Jessica Beal. And when we partnered with them, we all came in saying like, we're never going to be that truck home company. Like, I don't, not that you can't have custom homes and build, a set of custom homes specific that you've already put together, but that's just not what we wanted to do.
right.
So.
Would it change the price for you guys at all if somebody came in and said like, look, I need to build 3 of these on one property? No?
We just had that last week.
Did you really?
Yes.
So
Family, 3 of them. Mother, daughter, and son, all wanting. It doesn't.
I mean, the build is the same price.
that's why I'm asking.
right?
No, nobody gets any discounts.
I wasn't necessarily asking for like a discount as much as I was like, here's I mean, like you're having the same set of materials all coming to the same place,
Each one's gonna have their own challenges. You know what I mean? They're all gonna be different. The mom's not gonna want.
Yeah, they're all gonna want different things.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's all gonna be different.
And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, maybe if you all wanted the same granite, but even then, like, how many slabs of that stuff do I need? So then do you even limit yourself to the granite because you probably need so many that it doesn't matter at that point,
yeah.
That's,
But I'm asking the question because I know that there's people out there going, oh, I wonder if,
Right.
Right. I mean, it would make it easier theoretically on the builder, but at the same time, from a builder's perspective, I think it might make it a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to do all 3 of them at once.
Sure.
And then having 3 different personalities to deal with every time you go to that property.
Yeah.
It would probably make it
Like, I would absolutely not do a
challenging.
design meeting for all 3 people at the
same
time.
time?
Never.
Yeah, so you're going to have to have 3 separate meetings. You're going to,
Yeah.
Yeah,
6.
that makes sense.
Really.
Yeah.
We're really having 6 different meetings there.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, we don't know exactly what everyone else's process is, but whenever you're coming in, whether it's a remodel or building a barndominium, I mean, let's say it's barndominium, that's pretty much what we're here to talk about. So if you're coming in for a barndominium, you're either bringing me some plans or you're coming in to sit down with Jared and y'all are going to talk about floor plans and what it is that you're wanting, and then we're going to start comprising something, and you'll kind of get an idea out of that initial meeting on what you want to do, and then we'll take that and we'll submit it over to an engineer, and then you're going to come back and then we're going to play with that price based off of what you want. Then you're going to end up coming, you're going to sign an LOI, which is our letter of intent, just saying, hey, we're going to get started. You're going to put down, $1,500 for us to do our very beginning stage planning portion, like, those beginning elements. And then after you do that, we finalize that price, get the contract ready, put together a design where you're coming in and you're making all those big selections. The doors, the trim, the cabinets, the countertops, the faucets, all of that is being selected really within one meeting, sometimes 2, but with new builds, it normally goes pretty quick. From there, then we're putting a schedule together. We actually use an app called CoConstruct. So all of our clients get their own private login where we're uploading all of the information. So after you've done that design meeting, you're coming in and you're getting to see all of your elements that you've selected are going straight in. You have access to our proposed job schedule. Of course, Chris and I always say, like, this is absolute best case scenario. We try really hard to work to
Calendar is
this.
subjective.
Yeah, not really. But before we were the show, we were talking about that. If you are planning for success, you're running a well-oiled machine, and that's what we're always going to say makes us different than a lot of other contractors on the corner.
Yeah.
It's the element
Dime a
of
dozen.
what are you doing to set your clients and your project up for success. And that's what we really focus on. So
Yeah. Well, and so realizing that, everyone is different, but just to set expectations for some people, because I think a lot of people think they're going to come in and they're going to have a house in like 2 months. You know what I mean? I mean,
We're going to spend 2 months planning.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah. So from initial meeting with you guys to you handing them the keys, what should people have in their brains as like a general set amount of time that we should expect to be done with this project?
Are you paying cash or are you financing?
I would assume most people are financing.
Okay. If you're financing,
Has that been y'all's experience? Most people are financing?
I mean, some, and then we're sending you to our lender to see what you can get approved for,
Right.
I would say we're 60-40.
64. Okay.
60 on the finance side, 40 on
Okay,
the,
so,
on the cash
so
side.
let's start with the finance. How long should we expect? And make it long. I mean,
from very first phone call to the time that we're scratching the ground, if you have your,
what do you mean by scratching the ground?
we've cleared the land, did any concrete before we touch your property.
Okay.
Before we from the very first phone call to the first time we actually lay foot and start doing work on the property, if you're financing, 90 days, something like that.
Okay.
If you're paying cash, that can go a lot quicker because we don't have the middleman of the bank
Right.
in the way and
Having
all
to
the,
approve everything.
all the paperwork
Yeah.
that we have to go through with that. If you're paying cash, you have a set of plans, a floor plan that you're going for already. We could usually get started, I'd say 45 days, just something like that. And it all also depends on what we as a company have going on at that time.
Sure, yeah.
You know, if we got 10 other jobs going on, then hey,
It's going to be a while.
it's going to be a little bit. You're going to have to
Yeah.
wait. Just logistically and financially, it's difficult to do for a builder. I don't know if most people realize it, but like if you're financing a house, I've got to pay for that.
Right.
I've got to pay for your concrete. I've got to pay for your land clear. I've got to pay for all of that stuff out of my pocket. And then the bank reimburses me after they send an inspector out to make sure that the work has been completed and it's satisfactory.
Yeah.
Then you got to sign off on it. And the loan officer's got to sign off on it. I've got to sign off on it. So, you know, that turnaround time, there's a whole lot that
Not
goes
every
into it.
portion of home building operates on net 30s,
Yeah.
especially for custom residential stuff.
And not everybody knows what that means either, net 30.
You're not getting the product and paying later,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Like we're not.
You guys
Gonna
aren't
get the
doing it. You have to
product
pay for it when it happens.
Right. We are
Right.
expensing out this portion of your project before I ever get any cash for it.
Yeah.
Right. Especially as a young business as we are, I don't have that option of DR Horton that I've got a $1 million charge account over at Builder's First Choice. You know, I've got 30 days and I've got 10 builds going on. I got to pay these bills quick.
Man, well, and a lot of people don't realize some of these bigger companies. I mean, they're operating at like net 90.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, like that's insane.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, I can get a lot done when I don't have to pay for it till 90 days.
Yeah, yeah. I've had many offers in the early stages of my business to work for bigger home builders and stuff, and I never would do it for that reason. I can't.
Can't operate that way.
I can't wait 90 days for my money.
Yeah.
I can't. And
And we don't make our teams do that either.
Yeah.
We have in-house crews and, they're always are in-house, but not technically on my direct payroll. But we don't make them work that way either. Now we do lien releases with all of our subs, which is another big important part of our business. Jessica and Jared, they came from a big commercial background. So we adapted a lot of the processes that they used working for the commercial company, such as lien release, progress payments to, our subcontracted, workers where, okay, well, you're signing this contract, you're signing my warranty for this project. Every project gets this. And then once we've written you a check, well, you're getting a payment of a lien release where you can't come and say, well, I wasn't paid. Right. And then you're getting a final lien release payment. Well, it's not technically a lien release. It's two different types, but essentially, we're covered and covered and covered.
Right.
But we're not putting them on. It's not a matter of a 90-day or 30-day. It's,
Right.
You're getting X amount of dollars that's agreed upon before the work starts. And then at the end of that, your final payment. So, which, as a young company, like Chris said, it's not necessarily a bad thing for the client because we're trying to keep moving.
Yeah.
we're trying to make sure we get, recouped
We've gotta
quickly.
keep
We have
the
to
cash
stay on
flowing.
schedules and, bank schedules and all of that to keep the project moving fluidly.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So then, let's say financing 90 days, standard. I don't know what standard is. Say 2,000 square foot barndominium. What type of time frame you think you're looking at?
Again, about 90 days.
Oh, okay. It's not bad at all.
That's cash money.
Yeah.
Cash money, I can get it done in 90 days. No problem.
Sure.
If you're financing, it's probably going to be a little longer than that. And again, it really depends on the fine details of how. If we're talking cookie cutter, 2,000 square foot, basic stuff that I have in my office, no, I ain't got to, get somebody to do these fancy beams and things like that. Yeah, 90 to 120 days is usually what I tell
So you're talking
most customers.
like for a financing gig here, you're talking 7 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
6 months if everything goes without a hitch.
Right.
It's going to rain one day. It's going to.
Right.
When our prospective clients walk in, I tell them 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
That is our guidelines.
Yeah.
So you guys just finished one. Is it Bay City? Mm-hmm. How long did that one take?
That one, we pulled permit on that in, I want to say September-ish.
Okay.
That's not bad.
And we wrapped it up. Now, ask me how fast I could have got it done.
Yeah.
I could have got it done. We had delays from the electric company. There was 2 other builders that were building right next to us. They started about the same time that we did, and I guess he got to the office the day before I did. So I had to with the power company. It's like they don't give you a window. When your name comes up, your name comes up. You can call them every day and say, "Hey, when am I going to get my tent pole over here? Hey, man, you're third on the list. When we get to it, we get to it." They typically don't give you a time frame.
It's also pretty rural out there.
Yeah,
in Bay City.
There's not a whole lot in Bay City. I mean, I think it's like 35,000 people, something like that. There's no Lowe's or Home Depot they've got a True Value and a McCoy's. They just got a McCoy's like last year.
Nice.
Hey.
But we had some delays. Like I say, the power company took forever to get the power turned on. Rain delays. Hurricane blew through there a week after we got the building up.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. We had a door blowout. Jeez. Literally, we got the building up. I don't remember the name of the hurricane. It was that small Category 1 that blew through last year.
I remember.
Towards the end of the year. But yeah, it blew one of the doors off the building, and it was we had some hiccups that we definitely could have got that one done easily in 90 days if we didn't have the delays from the power company and the weather.
That's still not bad though. I mean, I don't know. It seems to me like a lot of builders are longer than that whenever they're doing certain builds, but I feel like that's reasonable. I mean,
it's not bad at all.
No,
I think it's pretty quick.
I do too. Whenever
and
you
I'm
say
going,
that,
I don't know how long it takes anybody else. All I know is what we're doing.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I think it's not unreasonable for things. I mean, and here, one of the things that you said is a lot of those finishes are done in that second meeting. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, I think that there's a lot of builders out there that's like, they drag that process out. Mm-hmm. And it's like, now you got to come back in. Now you got to come back in. No, you got to come back in. And it's like, well, I can't come this week. Sorry, I'm a little bit busy.
Right.
I'll get there next week to pick out my door handles.
Right.
So part of my process doing the design meetings is that I was sitting in on those meetings where Jared was doing the layouts for a while, just seeing, kind of getting a feel for what they wanted. And then I figured out, what, I'm just going to call and have a conversation with him after that meeting, let him do his thing. So I will have already talked to someone to have an idea of what they're wanting. And to make everyone's lives easier, I normally put together like 3 homescapes. Okay. So I'm pulling 3 designs before you walk in to kind of say, well, this is what you're kind of telling me, this is what I think would go well, and this is just some additional options. And
you're making phone calls before that meeting, too.
Correct. So it's, I also have design questionnaires that I send over. That's just like a click, 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 of things that you like. And then it just those conversations. That way you're not coming in, because it's overwhelming.
It is.
It's the age of Pinterest, which is like.
Everything's available.
It's pros and cons. And, we were talking about, like, would you want to build a traditional home or would you want to build a barndominium? It's the same thing with your interior when you're just designing that interior. I like all kinds of things.
Sure.
I love a million things, but at the end of the day, we do have to narrow down that final product. We can't put everything you love in this house.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, every
We
room.
can put a lot of it,
every
but
room-
we can't pull everything.
Yeah.
If
Everyone
you have
can't
an
be different.
unlimited budget, we can.
Yeah. Show me the money.
I'm talking more in terms of like trying to, you know, the traditional and the just, you know, we have to guide the client somewhere
Yeah.
where they get lost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I
And
think
it has to
that's-
be done beforehand, in my opinion, because if you start letting it roll, I'm not going to say that hasn't happened before too. I had a baby this past year.
Yeah.
So I'll say that we had a project that got started, and a lot of those elements, I didn't know that they weren't done yet. And so then that happened, you know, a month into the project. Did that make for a smooth flow? No, not calendar girl over here. Like, I can't handle that. I was like sweating bullets. Like, I can't take this.
Yeah,
you
but I
know?
think that's one of the things that's actually really nice about that process. Because, look, I think if you start talking to people that have built their own homes and the ones that are still married, is probably there's a factor in there somewhere. You know, like it can be stressful for a lot of people because there are a lot of decisions. And like my wife and I we talk often about how like we agree on most things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that most married couples agree on most things. I think
Right.
everybody, you know,
You catch the
and you start-
vibe
Yeah.
straight away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
no, I'm sure you have, and I think that once you get into that room where you're talking about all these things, it's like making a decision about these things. I mean, it can be very daunting and it can be challenging, and you know, you make a decision, then you second guess yourself, and all these sorts of things. And so I think that it sounds like you've got a really good process for that to help
Right.
mitigate
And that's
some
what
of
I
those
love
things.
about my particular portion of my job. You know what I mean? That's really my role. And I love, because, you know, yes, I'm a female, but I don't want her to just get what she loves.
Sure.
You're going to live there at the end of the day. Now, the
Yeah.
gift baskets do wind up being a little more catered to her because
Yeah.
Chris is always like, throw some Jack in there or something.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you know?
That's fair.
Yeah.
They always send the girly gifts. I'm like,
I'm working
something
on
cool
it,
to put in
okay?
that
I'm
basket.
working on it. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is about making that process easier because I know how stressful and overwhelming that can be. You know, I've sat and I feel like we've really honed in on this process because I've done everything from, you know, before we really had the showroom put together to let's take my clients down to Floor and Decor. Let me take my clients to MSI.
Oh, wow.
Let me do the design meetings here, here, and here. And I've tried it all, and this is what works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what really works. And they end up getting what they want without the stress or the hassle. And they walk away like, ooh, good. I do have my couple of clients that'll message me rogue stuff. You know, they go rogue. And overnight, and I'm like, look, Beverly, this is not what you said yesterday. This is not this is not it.
Oh, the
I'm going to
Beverly.
tell you no.
Right.
Beverly is a fictional character.
She's a fictional character. There's
We're
no
safe.
Beverly.
There is no Beverly.
I know what her last name is.
Take a giant leap and say you're no longer talking to Beverly. She is morphed into something else.
Beverly is that drink at Disney World, by the way. I don't know if they know about it,
No.
but Beverly is a perfect name for what they're talking about. So whenever you go to, they're going, you know, soon. So whenever you go, there's a place called Club Cool at Epcot. You go in there, whatever you do, like try all the flavors, and it's free. You can do as much as you want to, little, you know, like mouthwash
Shooters.
cups. But yeah, there's one called Beverly. Try it.
We're not doing Epcot this go around because there's, you know, 3 kids under 6.
Of course.
But,
Now we find out.
Yeah.
yeah. But thanks for the heads up. I was going to let you finish your spiel. Maybe Disney's listening.
Oh, they are. They know.
Maybe they'll throw you some tickets.
Disney and Taiwan is here.
Taiwan Disneyland.
They're a powerful juggernaut.
They are.
Mostly the Disney.
Yeah. Hey, you know, they're a top 20 company. They are what they are. So
All right, so I have one other question because I know we're running a little bit long on this one. But I have a thing I'm kind of curious about. A lot of Barndominiums I'm seeing have garage doors on them. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
Or the glass doors that slide up. Does that change the efficiency of the house at all?
No, I mean, if you cheap out on the door, of course, if
Right.
you buy a cheap door, but if you buy
So it can slide up and down just like a garage door, and you still can have it. That's
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, it's just like having a window, man. I mean, it's the same thing as having a window. If you buy, like I said, a good quality,
sealed.
double insulated glass, you know, tempered glass, all that good stuff. If you make sure that you're getting a quality product, it shouldn't affect your
Not like an overhead
If
door.
it's from $15.99
Right.
off of Wish,
Right.
not your door.
Probably not.
If your door came
a
from
prayer.
Wish, it's probably not the best door to use.
So I would imagine that's a pretty significant upgrade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. That's
Yes.
that's definitely not standard square foot pricing. Right there.
What should I expect to pay extra to get something like that put on?
Like a glass full.
Yeah. I mean, it has to, has glass. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. Doesn't have to be glass, but like, because most of them have like they're like metal with like glass panels.
You're probably looking at a $10,000 upgrade.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Not terrible.
Yeah.
Worth it. I
Not-
mean,
not
look,
terrible.
I want to
Get
be able to
Craig
drive
out
a
there.
car in my house.
get Craig out there.
Right.
Put a misting system in so you don't have no mosquitoes coming in, right? And open that sucker up in the spring out to your pool out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful.
Let me tell y'all, it is. Well, now it's February.
It is.
I installed one of those things in January.
Really?
Yes.
That's
What's that?
nuts.
A misting
Because they were
system.
you're
having
misting
they were having
Yes.
issues.
No, like here's the thing: if you wait until spring,
Yeah.
good
Too
luck.
late. Too late.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you mean they're out now?
There are some out now. Yeah.
I know there are. It depends on the time of day. They're out about 4:00 in the afternoon, not so much at 6:00 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nuts. So
Well, do y'all have any more questions about Barndominiums?
Yeah. When can we get started?
I'm just gonna save my.
Yesterday.
Tomorrow.
Oh, I'm all in, y'all. It's just a matter of finding the land first. I'm all in.
I mean, one thing I'd like to mention that nobody is asked, and I'm sure everybody is wondering that's probably listening, how much does it cost?
Sure.
How much does it cost? Plan on about 130 a square foot to start out. Your basic, and that's across the board.
That's our non-builder's grade because we're
Yeah.
not putting in builder's grade
Right.
anything.
with
I got you.
with us, technically that is our builder's grade.
Yeah.
But my builder's grade is not the same as
D.R. Horton.
Exactly. It's totally different stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, about $130 a square foot is a good
You mentioned
starting point.
140. Is that like high end stuff? I mean,
Yeah, it's upgraded.
We're talking about move-in levels of granite or quartz.
Yeah.
So our
At-
normal tier is like a 0 to 2. You're moving into the 2 to
Yeah.
4 range
Right.
there.
Yeah, you're just going up on, and it doesn't increase your price too much from that base 130. Like she said, that base 130, you're getting somewhere between a group 0 to 2 on your countertop. You're getting
Upgraded backsplashes.
yeah, your
tiles.
backsplash budget. We're usually on the back end of the business. We're figuring about $8 to $10 a square foot is what we're gonna pay for the tile. You can definitely upgrade and do a lot, but within that base $130, I can almost guarantee you I can satisfy just about everybody's needs with what we have at our office and the trends and what everybody's wanting right now. We've got everything you need within that 130. And the major upgrades with that, like I say, it's aesthetic stuff. It's in that 130, I can give you a 2,400 square foot house in that 130. But it's the finishes. Do you want the crown on the cabinets? Do you want the faux beams in the living room?
I want the glowing countertop. That's
Right.
what
Do
I
you
did.
want the glowing countertop? Do you want the $16 or $20 marble backsplash instead of the glass? That's where the prices start to go up. One of the benefits with Barndominiums is as long as you're staying within 50 foot on your width, the square foot price is pretty solid all the way down. If you go over 50 foot on your width, then we're going, I got to go back to the engineer, and that building's going to
That's
cost a
structural
lot
issues,
more money.
right?
And when I say per square foot, we're talking about living square foot. Now, I'm not charging you $130 a square foot for your garage.
Sure.
I'm not charging you $130 a square foot for your porch.
Right. So you're talking
those
about
are all separate.
those exterior like garage attached things.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like for instance, the one we built in Bay City, that one is a 50 by 95 building, but there's only a 1364 square foot apartment inside of that building.
It's got a big shop.
Yes. So the way that one was priced out, we priced him for the building's one price, the interior build out of the apartment is one price, and then, obviously we put our markups and profits and all that good stuff into it. And that's how we come up with that number.
Gotcha.
But you can usually count on for porches about $30 a square foot, somewhere around in there. For your garage, about $40 a square foot. And obviously, again, that goes back to the finishings and what you want to put in it. If you're wanting a 220 for your welding machine and things like that, obviously we've got that. That's not going to be part of that basic $40. There's going to be some additional to that. But don't shy away from customizing it, because you're only paying the difference. Like I'm not charging you extra markups and extra, profits, and I'm not tacking all that on top of it. If it's going to cost me an extra $200 to the electrician to run the power over there, I'm just going to pass that right on along to you.
Sure.
And we send those as change orders through our app that we can easily approve or deny and pay.
So if you're, I hear what you're saying with all, which honestly, 130 square foot is really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not bad at all.
I mean, I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and their custom price was like 150 a square foot for a traditional, conventional home. And that's spray foam. That's the whole work. That's
it.
Really, really good, y'all. That's really, really good. Yeah. So
the only thing that doesn't include, I'm sorry to cut you off. The only thing that doesn't include is, like I said, getting those utilities to the house.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's, like I said, it's completely turnkey. If you get it within 10 feet of the house, that's included in that $130 a square foot. You get the water within 10 feet, you get the power within 10 feet, you get the sewer within 10 feet. We'll tie into it, all included in that price. Everything's all inclusive.
Okay. So if you, so you're talking, let's say you go with a 50 by 90 building. Okay. That is whatever it is per square foot. Mm-hmm. Can you then add porches on to that? Because you're not, those are less structurally, those are not the same, right? So you can add those on.
Yeah.
However. So
just paying extra for the concrete.
Yeah, you're paying extra for the concrete.
Right.
You're paying extra for the metal roof,
right?
That kind of stuff.
But again, the square footage price of that porch is going to be cheaper because I've only got to do a 4-inch slab.
Right.
I don't have grade beams. I don't have all the stuff that I have to do for a garage.
Sure.
The garage square foot is going to be a lot more expensive because it's got to be a 6-inch slab, more rebar, da.
So you could do a covered awning with
Yeah, and adding those things on, it's like I say, it's really not terrible. The pricing is it's very affordable. It's very reasonable. I don't feel like we try to get rich off of anybody, but we make a good living.
Sure. I mean, I got to be able to get my excursion in one of them things, so.
Right?
That thing doesn't fit everywhere, I'll probably say that.
Big body.
You can do that in a Bartominium.
You get my garage door, you can park in the living room.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen on some of these Barndominium pages, I've seen some guys that say they start out in the 120 to 125 range. We could do that last year. We can't do it anymore.
Sure.
We had to go
Change
up.
of material.
Yeah. Just we 30% increase on metal.
Yeah.
You
It's
nuts.
nuts.
I can't build for 120 a square foot no more.
Right.
I've
And
gotta
just
go
our
up.
general cost of doing business. We're not a one-man show. We have a
employees.
showroom, office, overhead,
Yeah.
4 owners. It's a lot going on.
That was actually a question I had written down for you guys. Is what is a material that you guys have seen the most fluctuation in price over the last couple of years?
I mean, literally
All of it?
everything.
Literally everything?
Literally everything.
Is there one right now that's just like bouncing all over the place?
No.
Because wood's
No.
kind of gone down, right?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot, but not where it was 2 years ago. But
Right. I honestly think I hear people and I see people on Facebook all the time that, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. It's just like Kevin said earlier.
Yeah.
It's gonna seem like a deal a year from now.
Yeah.
You better just go ahead and do it. This is the new norm. I mean, our government gave away billions of dollars.
Right,
You know what I mean? They have to recover it somehow,
yeah.
and we're going to pay it back through everything. The cost of living has gone up, the cost of building, everything has gone up. I mean, your can of Campbell's soup, I mean, I'm sure I don't know what it's went up, but I guarantee it's went up some. 5 cents, 10 cents.
Yep. Oh, it's all gone up. I mean, every I was talking to my brother about this afternoon. Every good has gone up.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the price of gas; it can't do anything but go up,
Right.
Because they got to transport it from one place to the other. If nothing
Exactly.
else. I mean, diesel's over $3.50 a gallon.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yep.
It is what it is.
I don't see prices of building going anywhere but up.
Yeah.
Same thing with remodels.
The amount of inquiries to
Oh,
build
yeah.
versus remodel has just, and we haven't really changed our marketing dynamics, on the, our target markets in general. Like, we're still aiming to the same audiences, but I mean, more people are wanting to build, I think, because they see, am I going to buy something that I'm going to have to put a bunch of money into and go through that headache, or can I just go ahead and do what I want to do?
Well, I think that's what a lot of people are running into is like, well, I'm not going to find what I want at the price that I want because that's gone. That left 2 years ago.
Yep.
I don't have that opportunity anymore. So like, if I'm going to spend $500,000, I might as well, do it on land and a thing that I actually want.
Right.
I can talk to Chris. I can talk to Laken, and we can design it. And I'm going to get what I want rather than. Oh, I kind of like that, and I could change that, and I could tear that down, and I buying one headache and then investing in 3 more.
Yeah, you'll probably have to make a few compromises, but they're not going to be as big.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, you may have to cut down on a room size or something like that, or move this or move that.
Yeah, but that's my kids' room. I don't care about that.
Right. Exactly. Make the kids' room a little smaller.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yep.
We are still doing full remodels, though, so don't take that the wrong way. I mean, we are doing full home gut jobs, and those aren't really going away.
Yeah.
But,
No.
We're not getting as many just like, oh, I just want to redo my kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing less of that and more of gut the whole thing or build me something new.
I mean, that's me. I mean, I'm dug in like a tick here. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, in your town.
And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, you've got a 2.5 floor in here. What are you going to do?
I'm not getting new cabinets.
No,
That's what
you're
I'm
not getting new cabinets. It's not for builder grade pricing.
You're going to come down to Southern Luxe and check out our cabinet lines that we have installed in-house.
Right.
And look through all of the different options.
Come on down to the showroom, Craig. I'll show you some cabinets.
Oh my goodness. Nah, not his cabinets. Something will go wrong. I promise.
That is true.
I just tapped the welcome to the show, by the way. Whoops. Oh, everybody's like, oh, they're just starting.
Just in case you got here an hour and a half ago.
Hello, right? That's right. Well, thank
We're
you
still
guys.
here.
This has been really, really good. I think that there's been, see, there it is on the, it's a delay. Anyway, it's been really good because I think that a lot of people don't really understand some of the nuances of some of this stuff, and it's a lot to kind of consider, and to sit down and talk with you about this is going to be a consulting fee or whatever. And just listen to our show, man. That's why we bring you on.
Right.
For free.
For free. So
free.
yeah, it's awesome. So thank you for coming. Anything else we missed as far as that you want to bring up?
I will say that we have just recently, we are branching out to doing just metal buildings as well.
Okay.
So the shops, the garages, the
that's
the
awesome.
extensions, the additionals that we're not necessarily building out the interiors on. Of course, we can do it.
Yeah.
but-
So if you're a local listener and you want a shop or a metal building built, we can do that as well.
Cool.
Not just the Bartominiums.
Okay.
Nice. I
And
like it.
last thing, we are direct cabinet distributors. So we have local cabinets sourced straight out of Houston that we can outfit for your house.
Okay.
So that's a whole
And
nother-
I can beat Lowe's and Home Depot's prices. Come on down.
All right, bring it.
We got it.
What's
And I
on
can't
the-
ship. I can't ship.
You can ship.
I
Okay.
can ship.
On the metal buildings, what is that on the square foot? Do you know?
The
Offhand?
metal building itself,
Yeah.
it's going to depend on your
Size.
sides. Well, your heights.
Oh, okay.
So you got 12 foot, 16, 20. Just depends on how
Okay.
big you're trying to go, and then also your doors. How many walk-through doors? How many? But typically around $40.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
People can visit our website and just go to the contact us page and fill that out, and we're normally really quick to get back.
Okay.
And get
There's a form on the website. People,
Yes.
And it'll even ask them like what kind of project they're interested in.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cool.
All that good stuff.
What is the website?
It is southernluxehomeinnovations.com.
There you go.
/contact to make your life easier.
There you go. Don't have to do the extra clickety click.
Right. Take you right there.
Nice. Well, then there's only one thing left to do.
Okay.
Dun, dun.
That is the Final Four.
Final Four.
I absolutely love all the people that are listening and cheering in right now.
Turned their microphones on suddenly.
it makes my heart warm. Thank you, studio
Thank you,
audience.
yes.
Yeah, we're live here on the Homeowners stage.
So are we making them both go?
No, I mean, well,
Just Chris.
No. Well, I guarantee
I
it's
know
not
the
just
question.
Chris.
Chris has done this
I already
before.
know
He's
the
done
question.
this. He's done this before, so I don't think so. I think this is just Laken.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is look. If I mean, Craig and I've done it.
There's 4 voting members
Chris
at
has
the table,
done
Laken,
it.
and
Yeah.
Right.
It's look.
If you
it's-
actually listen to the show, you would know what's going on right now. Your husband was on the show, and you didn't even listen.
the one that he was on, you didn't listen to.
I hear that guy enough.
Yeah. Hey, if it makes you feel better, my wife has not listened to a
I'm
single
like 3
episode.
kids under 6 and some business. Like, there's things
I hear
happening in
ya.
my life, okay?
I mean, this is episode 178. 0 for my wife.
Is it
That's what it
178?
goes.
I
Yeah.
like her.
178.
179.
170. What we said 178 earlier.
well,
we agreed.
The
That it was-
file says otherwise.
Oh my goodness. Well, whatever it is, it's the Final Four time. We're delayed long enough to find out all of the things that we need to know
From Laken.
from Laken. All right, you ready for this?
She's
Ready
very
as I'll
stressed.
ever be.
It's,
All right.
It's going to be brutal.
Yes, here we go. Question number 1. What's the must-have tool you won't leave your house without?
My tool?
Yeah.
My cell phone charger.
Oh, cell phone
Charger.
Wow, that's
Oh.
that's one that I haven't heard before.
haven't.
Threw a spin
Yeah.
on it.
Is,
Yeah,
it, is it
'cause-
a cable or do you have like a battery backup?
Oh, I have like the cable, but I bought a battery backup today because I knew we're gonna be, in Disney World for
Oh,
4
yeah.
days.
There you
I
go.
need my
Smart girl.
lifeline.
That's
There you
right.
go.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really good. I mean, we hear she added that it's like cell phone. Oh yeah, charger. Oh
I'm always gonna have my cell phone.
yeah, that's good.
That's the number one answer.
It's
It
not
is number 1 answer. Absolutely.
Cell phone.
Cell phone is the number 1 answer.
Yep.
Oh, well, charger.
Charger we have not heard before.
That
Yeah,
is
no.
the first answer that we've
I
ever
just
had.
assumed that this is duct tape to my hand.
It's right. It's an appendage. It's
I
not
think
really
I
a
have
tool.
Yes, that's not a tool. It's an appendage.
Yeah. No, it absolutely is.
And without the charger, it's a brick.
yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
It's a
All right,
weapon.
Second question. What's a job you've walked away from? Okay, now we have to qualify this every single time. Everybody that listens to the show is like, okay, here it comes. That we meant what's a project in your house that you began and you walked away from? You had to call a contractor and it's like, look, I'm not doing this. I'm not touching this. It's too much work. But we said the very first show, what's a job you walked away from? So a lot of people talk about careers that they walked away from or, a specific employer or something. So we're just going to leave it open to you. What's a job you walked away from?
I taught dance professionally for about 12 years.
Okay.
And I stopped teaching dance. And this is what I do now.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see it. Here we go.
And that's the story.
And that's that.
Oh,
So you
I'm waiting.
you might see something on the horizon, but not right
The
now.
Go get the
Horizon.
guitar.
On the
and-
horizon.
Yeah. Hey, Craig. Pull it out. I'm ready. All right, Laken.
Do you know any
A one,
ballet
a two.
ballots on that thing?
Yeah. I started off wrong, didn't I? A 1, a 2. That's probably not how it's.
Oddly enough, I can play some Bach.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
Well, I
let's
can give
keep.
you a nice bar warm up if
Okay.
you'd like to break that out.
There you go. All right. Third question. How do you wind down at the end of a long day?
I don't.
Oh. So you
I'm
just
just
stay
kidding.
up.
This is totally not it. If you walk into my house
Uh-huh.
after bedtime, so
Mm-hmm.
we're saying like 8:30, I've got essential oil diffusers going on.
Uh-huh.
It is dark.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just like all the dim lighting. I mean, it looks like an Italian restaurant. You know what
Nice.
I mean? Like in its prime, like just very chill. That's it. I mean, that's it. I also like wine.
Okay.
I was gonna say you skipped the Pinot Grigio part.
Yeah.
Well, Pinot Gris. That's
it really
just
is like Italian.
skipped the
like
Pinot.
my Bald and my Pinot. They go hand in hand. Yeah, no, seriously. I like to chill.
Cool.
I like very, very chill. So.
Nothing on? No music?
TV?
Nothing?
I mean, sometimes.
Sometimes?
I'll put on something like real low. Oh, that's funny too. So when my kids go to sleep, I put on like rain sounds or ocean noises. So our whole house will just sound like you're at the ocean and it's all dimly lit.
I guarantee you that's what my house sounds like right now.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I
Right.
mean, there's no other way to do life.
You got to go to the second and a half floor to get away from it all.
Yeah.
That's right,
I
yeah.
actually thought the other day, I was like, what
I
happens
need
if
a
I
second and a
couldn't
half
do
floor
this?
at my house then.
Yeah. Where
Dude,
can I go?
I'll take you in when we're done here. You'll see if you like it.
That's funny. All right. Last question. What's one of the best pieces of wisdom or advice you've ever received?
Best wisdom or advice? Don't do anything half-ass.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That will save you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full ass is all the way to go.
I mean,
Every time.
every time.
Never heard anybody complain about that.
I can say that I got that from multiple people in my life. So, I mean, it's just kind of the trend. Like, just go all in or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, why are you going to do anything if you're not going to complete it? I don't understand. Like, seriously, I really don't understand. This is just my
Are you type
personality.
A?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
We're on the right side of the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's funny because like I've got definitely pieces of my personality that are not type A, but at the end of the day, it still needs to go a certain way, right? Like
Completed is one of them.
completed is one of them. Yeah, no, I get it. Cool. All right. Well, we've already talked about how we contact you, so we're not going to go to that question.
Maybe
Craig,
a phone number or something.
All right, Craig, go ahead. Ask your question.
How do people get a hold of you if they want to find you? It's the one question I get to ask.
Yeah.
Let me have my question, Kevin.
Do you want to do it?
Don't half-ass
You're the
this.
question answerer right now.
You can call us at 936-205-1617 or by email, info@southernluxehomeinnovations.com, or you can visit our website. Now, you can go to Facebook, but we're not going to respond there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we automatically redirect everyone. This is a
You'll get a redirect message.
business pro tip. If you have a business, I highly recommend that you funnel all of your leads to one resource at all possible.
It's easier to track.
Yes, and you're not leaving people hanging. There's not, you also get the real, true inquiries
There you go.
if they follow through.
Yeah.
And for the kids out there, you can follow us on the TikTok now.
Ah.
We got the
I
TikTok.
have upgraded to TikTok.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It's all Southern Luxe Home Innovations.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got any good fishing lures for sale?
I do.
Do you have a page for that yet?
I don't. I haven't started my page yet, and I told my brother's trying to get me to do custom orders, and I'm like, I don't have time for that pressure.
It's a lot of work.
If I paint it and I got it in stock and you want it, I'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do custom.
They
But
all
I bought him a photo light box to take
did.
pictures of it for Valentine's
To help me step
Day.
my
So
game up.
really
Nice.
romantic.
Aww.
That's how I'm relaxing in the evenings now. Is painting.
Okay.
That's my answer
Yeah,
to
I'm
that
inside
question.
of the ocean and he's outside painting the lures.
Yeah.
For the ocean.
For the
I actually
ocean.
saw some
So-
just the other day. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you want a fishing barndominium,
Yes.
Chris can make you the custom lures to
Give
go
me
with
a
the
call.
house.
That's right. That's
Nice.
right. We've got a couple potentials on the coast this year, so
There you go.
I'm excited
That
about
could
those.
be in the gift basket.
That's right.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, again, thank you guys for coming, for being here.
Thanks for having
Another
us.
long episode. We've had a lot of long episodes recently, but thanks for coming. Thank you all for listening to the episode today. Thanks for downloading episode 179, I think. Anyway,
179.
yeah, leave us a review, a rating on iTunes. That would be wonderful. Go like us on Facebook and all the other places. We're available each and every Tuesday. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See you.